Thanks for joining me. My name's Dave Milner. I am the Unpleasant Blind Guy. Today, we're celebrating a man who had a fascination for life, a desire to learn more, and loved those around him in a strong way. Before we get into the program, I want to give thanks first to Eric Kyle for his help with the graphic on the last show. Sometimes I need help with that sort of thing, and Eric stepped up, so thank you, Eric. I appreciate you, brother. And second, I want to thank RestoringHistory.us. That's Restore History on the Twitter, for saying that they are now a regular listener. I appreciate that. Check them out on Twitter. And now, let's get into it. It's become a worldwide phenomenon that people can regularly speak with each other and form friendship relationships, and sometimes even more, over the internet. Something like it was experienced earlier, of course, by amateur radio operators, but it really exploded with the internet, and those of us with any kind of experience have friends that we regularly enjoy interacting with and who we enjoy see pop up in whatever social media we're on, and when they pass on, we miss them very much. Now, the one that I'm referring to was named Practice Theory on the Twitter. He was part of the Small G Gay Report family and also part of the Red Eye Twitter crew. He would come on with us and have fun, joke around, and you could always count on Practice Theory to tweet something amusing or thoughtful or just plain fun. His tweets were always welcome, and I considered him to be a friend in my life. Now, last Sunday, Practice Theory was taking his nightly walk when three individuals robbed a restaurant that was about a block away from where he was. They then approached him and tried to rob him of his cell phone. He ran and called 911, and they shot and killed him and ran off. One of them was captured on Friday trying to board a plane and leave town. This all happened in the Greenwood area of Seattle. I have detailed stories of this that I will post at UBG Contact on the Twitter. That's where you can contact me with story suggestions, awesome American suggestions, questions, and comments. I won't get into the details of the entire story, but I will tell you that Practice Theory's name was David Peterson. He was my age, 54. He survived by a wife who is a very wonderful person, and by a son, a grown son. David was a U.S. Army veteran, retired military police officer, and even though he was 54, he was hardly a man slowing down. He was actually continuing his education in information technology and was looking forward to improving his life. David was buried this Saturday. As you might guess, his death affected all of us on Twitter. I personally found out last Tuesday, and such an impression was the one that David left that his friends on Twitter began to immediately voice their condolences and hopes that his murderers would be found soon and the justice would be done. Sometimes on the internet, you run into someone who says, hey, it's only the internet, or it's only Facebook, or it's only Twitter. But what they fail to remember when they say this is that it's also real people. It's people that touch us all. This wasn't just the internet or just Twitter. This is a story about a man who many people loved as a good-natured friend who was everything but mean-spirited, as so many people are on the internet these days. David Peterson, or as we know him, Practice Theory, will be greatly missed, and I think the best way we can honor him is to try and emulate his zest for life, his thirst for knowledge, and his willingness to move on from the status quo. And that's what I'm going to try and do here. All right. I came up with a story, thanks to someone very special, that I think Practice Theory would have liked. I'm going to honor Practice Theory by a story in the Awesome American segment, which I know everyone likes, featuring this time's Awesome American, Ricky Young. This story comes via Sue from New Mexico, and it is filed by Andrew Harensky of KHOU TV News, Channel 11 in Houston, Texas. The headline is Man Rescues Dog from the Middle of a Busy Freeway. It was originally posted on February the 28th, and it was updated today, March the 3rd.
TrendStar cameras caught a heart-wrenching scene this morning along the East Tex Freeway at Tidwell. An injured dog was sitting in the HOV lane when that Good Samaritan stopped by to help. Our Andrew Horansky has his story.
This yellow lab along the East Tex Freeway didn't stand a chance until Ricky Young showed up.
Just a caution for a dog in the HOV lane.
He had heard about a problem on the radio
94.5 The Buzz.
and rushed to solve it.
Yeah, I'm just kind of a softie on that stuff. I have a dog, and I would hate to see him on the highway like that.
TrendStar cameras captured the whole thing. The skittish dog first backed away.
And obviously real scared.
Before Young pulled out a sandwich. Within minutes, she was in his truck, and they were off to the SPCA. So you gave up your lunch to save a dog?
Pretty much. I could see that she was thankful and she was happy to be in a safer environment.
Though his safety was definitely a concern as traffic sped by. But it may have made all the difference. The timing was critical. Vets here say she had broken bones and internal bleeding. She was in desperate need of care. They operated this afternoon. They don't believe the dog has an owner since she doesn't have a chip. But she has something now that she certainly didn't have before, a shot. And Ricky Young can be thanked for that. Andrew Horansky, KHOU 11 News.
Americans often go the extra mile to do the right thing. And I can tell you from experience, having grown up in Texas, any Texas freeway is extremely busy. The fact that Mr. Young was able to put his life in his own hands to rescue the dog makes him, not unlike many other Americans, but this time's awesome American. Please find someone you love and show them you love them, because, as we see far too often, life is transitory. And before I close, I want to recommend that you listen to the Small G Gay Report, where he speaks of Practice Theory and what Practice Theory meant to him. Small G Gay's tribute to Practice Theory is one not to be missed. Thank you for listening, and may your God go with you. Goodbye.